and welcome to the St. Louis Home Chat. I'm your host, Angela Dillmon, with the Dillmon Group at Keller Williams Realty Chesterfield, where our average sale price is 101.51% of the asking price. Today we're talking to Kurt at our very favorite inspection company, Pillar to Post, the Chad Bora team. Today we're here to talk about maintenance-free decking. What kind of products are there out there today, Kurt, on maintenance-free decking? What should I be looking for? What's more expensive, less expensive? Maybe what's a better product, not so good a product? So tell us, we got some maintenance-free decking that we're standing on today, so tell us a little bit about it.
We do. So this is a vinyl deck board, and this is actually a tongue and groove style decking. And the advantage of the tongue and groove style decking is that it actually will allow for you to have more of a water tight area underneath, so that you can actually create kind of a waterproof area underneath. The water hits the groove in the channel and heads out to the exterior. So that's a really nice product for somewhere that you want to have maybe a drier area underneath. Okay. The vinyl does get really hot, and so it is something to consider, that expansion, contraction of the product as it gets hotter and hotter during the summer months. And then in the winter months, it obviously constricts and gets colder, and so it will ebb and flow a little bit throughout the season. Okay. I would say the best product out there for maintenance-free is probably the PVC coated deck boards. For example,
so there's different coatings on the deck. So there's PVC coating, and what else is there?
There's PVC coatings. There's just generally a vinyl composite type product, fiberglass type products. And then they also make a composite decking, which is kind of the term you've heard in the past. Composite deck boards will often have actually wood fibers mixed into the deck board. For example, a brand like Evergreen has the actual wood fibers mixed into the deck board, which actually makes it a little bit more porous. And it's a hardy deck board, and it lasts for a long time, but it actually will absorb a lot more things like oil, water, and things like that, and will break down.
So does it actually stain?
It will stain.
Yeah, can I stain this kind of deck?
This would be very, very difficult to stain because it's pretty much made out of vinyl, so it's much harder to stain. It can get algae buildup just like any other surface, like vinyl siding gets algae buildup.
Sure.
The vinyl rails, these are the white vinyl rails systems, and they can get algae buildup and things like that, but much more impervious to, say, wine or grease or things like that. So,
okay, great. And so some of the composite decking, you're saying you have to actually screw down from the top, and you've got your screws that are exposed. Is that ever a problem for that kind of decking? That's
a great question, because really with the composite decking or even a PVC coated product, if you face screw that deck board in, you are definitely potentially shortening the life of the deck, because it's going to have the wear and tear on those screw areas, and water will tend to absorb as expansion contraction happens. You will get maybe some boards that split or crack or break because of those. And so really, in my humble opinion, it's worth every penny if you can to go to a hidden fastener style system of decking, because it really aesthetically looks amazing, but also it really will last longer because you don't have those surface penetrations and the ability for the deck board to break down quicker.
So is the vinyl coating versus PVC, is the vinyl coating, will it absorb and stain as well?
It will a little bit, like I said, but it's more of a surface, stain, like an algae or something that you could wash off. Okay. The PVC coatings are even more hardy. They tend to resist more of the UV rays as well. Hardier to the sun. So they don't fade? They don't fade as much, yeah. The PVC tend to have a little bit more color locking abilities than some of the vinyl products will bleach out over time. So
obviously then PVC coated is probably more expensive.
PVC coated is definitely the most expensive style of deck boards.
And do they actually make this out of PVC completely, or just
they do make completely PVC deck boards that are really, really expensive, but the PVC coated are the most popular, and they do tend to have some traction built into them. They tend to add a little bit of traction, but like any composite deck board or PVC coated deck board, you have to be careful that they can get slippery over time. If they get wet or get ice buildup, so you have to kind of take that into account too.
Now, I've had some people say that they would just really want a good wood deck because it's so much sturdier. Is composite decking less sturdy than a good wood deck, or is it just the frame that it's built on?
That's exactly the frame that it's built on. So PVC deck boards have very, very specific requirements of the space between the structure below. So you have to follow the specifications to a T to not void the warranties and things like that, and have it perform the way it's supposed to. A deck board is going to be a little bit more forgiving and have a little bit more ability to go with, maybe not quite as a good deck structure below. a PVC deck board or a vinyl deck board has to be very specifically structured for that deck board to perform the
So
way
are
it
the
should.
posts closer together?
It depends on the manufacturer's specifications. Typically, it's more of the deck joist spacing. They'll be closer together on a composite or PVC deck board.
They will be. Is it just as easy to install this yourself as it is to use the hammers and nails on a wood deck? I mean, if I was going to try to do this myself, or actually not myself, but if my husband was going to try to do it, would you attempt the composite, or would you go to a professional on it?
You know, I would say if you're able to follow the specifications on the structure and the fastening, and use the right tools and fastening devices, you could do it yourself. It is a little bit more complicated than, say, a traditional wood, you know, a nail or screw that you're using. There's a little bit more specific requirements.
Okay, so a little bit more complicated if you're going to try to install your own maintenance-free deck. But we do have some great vendors out there that would actually let you help them build the deck. You could help them. You could be their helper and cut down costs that way if you'd like to access a professional when installing a maintenance-free deck. So that was really great information. Read your manual. I know people don't like to read the manual, but read the instruction manuals before you try to install them. And it's interesting to see that there are actually different coatings on composite, and that one's more expensive than another, and that's why you see the price difference. So read the details. That's important. So Kurt, thanks a bunch for filling us in and educating us on composite-free decking today, because it's a product that so many people are going to, and it's great to know more about it so that you're more informed when you're buying it or installing it. Thanks for joining us today on the St. Louis Home Chat, and we will see you next week.